What a beautiful Friday afternoon in Tennessee, Nashville Superspeedway for NASCAR Camping World Truck Series practice and qualifying. Sunshine and 95 degrees. It's summertime. Trucks already starting to roll for this 20-minute practice session, and we welcome you in along with Michael Waltrip, Phil Parsons. I'm Vince Welch. Not a lot of time to get work done here in this 20-minute session. What's most important for these teams on this 1.3-mile concrete track?
Yeah, as you mentioned, not much time at all, and that racetrack is white. There is no rubber down on that racetrack. They talked about dragging tires around that racetrack, and I don't really see that much evidence of that. So I think right now these guys want to concentrate, make sure their heights are right, and just try to get a little bit comfortable. And then you're only going to get maybe two or three runs in here, so try to get the thing where you know it's not down on the racetrack, and then you can go out there and see what you got. But there's a lot to go on here in 20 minutes for these 42 trucks.
Track position critical here, Mike, and qualifying coming up afterwards. You can win from deep, but boy, you sure want to start up front.
Yeah, but Vince, a year ago, 6 of our top 10 finishers qualified outside the top 10, so there is hope for that.
I'll give you the 15 starting position. I'll start in the top 5.
Okay, that's the deal. But what I want to tell you guys is I love this rapid fire action. I love the fact they're going to hop out there, do 20 minutes of practicing, wipe their brow off a little bit, and get ready to go qualify. I mean, it just happens so quickly, but they're going to learn so much over these 20 minutes. Like you said, Phil, where's your heights? How did your truck handle? What's the tendencies? What adjustments do we need to make? How close was our engineering on how we set up our truck? So fun 20 minutes of practice. I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, you better be pretty darn close when you unload it with only a 20-minute practice.
Well, a lot of important strings attached to this race weekend as well. We only have 3 races remaining in the regular season. This is a triple truck challenge race, so $50,000 bonus goes to the winner, unless of course that would happen to be Corey Heim, and then it would be a $150,000 take, as he has already won the first of 3 triple truck challenge events. It's a 20-minute practice session, so we got to get right downstairs and check in with our pit reporters, beginning with Josh Sims.
Yeah, and this practice and qualifying section is really going to set the tone for a guy like Derek Kraus. Enters the weekend just 27 points below the cut line, and he's been steadily chipping away at that lead that Matt Crafton has above the cut line. But you know what? He was very strong here at Nashville last year, won the pole, went on to lead 48 laps, and win the first stage. So he has a lot of confidence heading in here, but he said what's happening right now, this is crucial because he needs to duplicate that because he's running out of time very quickly if he wants to make the postseason, Regan.
Well, Josh, the guy he's trying to chase down, Matt Crafton, one of the veterans in the field. Early in the show, you guys talked about the track conditions, what was going to take place during this practice session. Crafton, one of the guys still parked. Actually, now he's on the racetrack, but said he was going to wait for just a moment to head out to the racetrack to see what was going to happen with the spray that they put on the racetrack, the rosin that got put down. You see him out there now. Mentioned the points gap right now. He said, I'm not worried about that even in the least bit. If we are not fast enough to get in, then we don't deserve to be there anyways. They're just focused on performance right now.
Well, and he's 27 points to the good, and it's a nice little cushion, but it's certainly not anything you can sit back and put your feet up on.
Yeah, with 3 races left, counting the stage points, there's 180 points available, so that could be a bit of a tenuous lead, especially the way Derek Kraus has really gained on it. He's gained over 50 points in the last 4 races to only fall 27 points below that cut line, and I thought he might even have won that race at Gateway, Michael, not just a couple of races ago.
I love what Regan just reported about Matt Crafton. He said, if we're not fast, we do not deserve to be in the playoffs. Where's he at right now? He hopped to the top of the board, the fastest truck in Tennessee. So Matt Crafton's a veteran. He knows what he's faced with. He knows what he has to do in order to make the playoffs and to be a contender once he gets in. To me, this guy, former champion, it's not about making the playoffs. Sure, you want to. He wants to win the championship. And if he doesn't have speed, he's not going to do that.
He's never missed the playoffs ever since we've had playoffs, though, Michael.
Only 1 top 5 for Crafton this season, though. And if you're going to talk about a championship contender, to see your driver inside that top 5 a little bit more frequently, as you see already an issue for Jinjo Cobb. Not a good sign.
That'll bring out the caution because you don't know how much oil you would think it would bring out the caution.
Yeah, it's not out yet. I'm like you, Michael. I would like to see that caution flag, truthfully, just to make sure.
Everybody's making their way toward pit road, it looks like, though, just because they don't want to take chances, or a lot of the trucks are. So hopefully she didn't lay anything down. We'll know real quickly if she did or not.
Jinjo trying to make her season debut. Of course, a veteran of many NASCAR Truck Series starts, but has not started one yet this season.
Right in front of Parker Kligerman, the 75, and Stuart Friesen in the 52.
Practice just underway at Nashville, the Camping World Truck Series. Camping World Truck Series practice and qualifying from Nashville Superspeedway. Going to go racing later tonight, and it will be the second race in the Triple Truck Challenge. Corey Heim won the opener at Gateway, and if he would win again tonight, it would be a $150,000 haul for the driver of that 51 truck.
That's some pretty serious money, man.
And if somebody else would win, it's $50,000, and it's all truck guys, no Cup or Xfinity interlopers from this point forward. So I
like that.
Yep.
That's my favorite tonight right there, Vince. I think that 51 truck's going to be the guy you got to beat. We got a part-timer in Heim there in the 51. Also Ryan Preece won here a year ago. He's another guy you have to deal with.
Mike went way out on the stretch thinking Corey Heim's going to be one of his favorites. Huh?
How about Ben Rhodes?
Yeah, I like him too.
Very sketchy to start. A lot of movement on top of the racetrack. Man, I'm just tight. So I would like a little more security off the wall, but as I was running, it was getting better and better for me. Security off the wall. I'm just tight, cut tone to center, and if I get in the gas too soon, I kind of carry that push on exit.
That basically defines sketchy. Nothing about that truck seemed to be exactly what he was looking for. But Rich Lucius, the crew chief on that truck that we've seen make some amazing calls when this truck hasn't been very fast during the course of this season to get them either stage wins or stage points. They've done a great job of maximizing with the performance they've had. And Phil, I'm a little bit concerned about the 99. They haven't been fast lately.
Well, they were sure fast early in the year and really piled up some great top 5 finishes. But this is that Thor Sport truck that has been fast here lately. Ty Majeski, 5 of the last 7 races, he's finished up in the top 5, really doing a great job in his first full season here.
And his teammates, how much does that help? We talked about Crafton not having the speed he's looking for. Ben Rhodes struggling a bit. But this truck, Majeski, week in, week out, they're right there. How can they share that information and help all those trucks?
And you know they do. Maybe just every driver is not exactly the same and don't like exactly the same things. The other truck, Christian Eckes, has been awfully fast too as well. A couple runner-up finishes.
Well, if last year's any indicator, this should be a good race for the ThorSport contingent. They had 4 of the top 8 finishers a year ago here. And Crafton second quickest so far. And you see Majeski third on the speed chart already with Eckes in the top 10 as well. So those ThorSport speed going on. And I think Majeski, one of those that certainly, I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up winning this one tonight.
That's for sure, Phil Vince. But Ryan Preece, we see Stuart Friesen here. He's the fastest so far, as you can see on our scoring pylon on the left. So that's a good start for Friesen. But look at Ryan Preece. His fastest lap was his 6th lap last time by, and that means he's got a good truck, wants to get a little heat in those tires, and that's what you're looking for as a driver.
And again, caution is out. For practice, it'll be the red. That's Chase Janes, looking to make his 2nd start of the season. Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yeah, races at Hickory Motor Speedway in the late model division.
See Butler built on the back of that truck. Phil, me and you had many concrete walls riding in a Butler built. See, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's a safe one of the safety teams that help these drivers to be taken care of if they happen to have an accident. Chase just getting a push here from the safety team.
You know, we make a lot of the fact that this is a concrete track. So from your guys' experience, what's the big difference between racing on concrete versus racing on the asphalt?
You know, it's really funny because I raced when there weren't any concrete tracks, and then they concreted Dover and Bristol, and now we've got Nashville. It's just really interesting the difference in the feel, Vince. You really can feel at times that feels like your tires grinding into that asphalt, where a lot of times for me, you're almost on top of the concrete. You heard Ben Rhodes saying, I'm up on top of the racetrack. That's sort of a tendency that I feel there. Now, Nashville is a bit different than Dover. There's not all the joints that you hit.
The seams.
The seams doesn't seem to upset you as much at Nashville. So, and you can see the rubber that's laying down there. The track will change
pretty quick, too.
A lot when you have that differing, when you have no rubber and then you have more rubber. But what I love most about this track, Vince, is the tightness of the corners. It's a big super speedway, but it races almost like a short track because you dive down down in the corners, and it's got a real tight radius in the center. So, and that's another thing that I like what I'm seeing in this session is we're already seeing trucks run up the racetrack a bit. You don't have to be right dead on the bottom of the track. There's multiple grooves that are developing really early in this session, so that's good for us tonight when we go racing.
Yeah, and it is a busy day here at Nashville. Truck, Xfinity, Cup, all will practice before the Truck Series race tonight, and you see the clock ticking on this 20-minute practice session. Hey, I just want to everybody kind of carrying a little bit of a heavy heart this week with the passing of Bruton Smith, and boy, what obviously a Hall of Famer in our sport. But I think Hall of Famer really doesn't even do justice to what Bruton Smith is.
Innovator. I mean, there's so many adjectives that you could use for Bruton. What a great man, what a great family. Marcus Smith, his son, carrying on that same tradition. But I don't know where the sport would be, Michael, without the vision of somebody like Bruton Smith.
And just such a warm heart, a generous man, very kind, very caring. He's given so much to our sport, helped us push into area. I remember the first time I thought of Bruton was, or thought of something that I didn't understand, was when he said, we're lighting the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're gonna put lights around it. I was like, that sounds like a really cool idea. How you think you're gonna do that? But that just describes Bruton and how passionate he was about the sport and how innovative he was.
Yeah, indeed. Well said. A loss for sure. Stay with us. We'll come back to Nashville.
I am tradition, passed down from the families that race to the ones that watch us every weekend.
You know, it's all I've ever known, racing.
I was fortunate to be in Victory Lane 20 years ago, and I'm here again.
I am meant to be passed down from one generation to the next. Because the only thing better than seeing a race is sharing it with someone. I am NASCAR.
It's a hot Friday afternoon in Nashville, Tennessee. A good place to get some hot chicken, too, by the way. And, when it's sunny and 95, who doesn't want some hot chicken?
Hot chicken and a little cold beer sounds good.
There you go. Getting ready for the final minutes of this practice session before qualifying for the Camping World Truck Series. And here's the playoff standings heading into this race tonight. 3 remaining in the regular season.
If you focus around that cut line, it'll make you dizzy, Phil. There's been so much coming and going down there, and even up at the top as well, Vince. The whole thing has just been all over the place lately. It'll be interesting to watch it wind down.
Do we all agree Kraus could point his way in, but everybody else below him's got to win?
I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah, for sure.
But you think Kraus can still point his way in?
Yes, I do.
Absolutely.
There's so much to be gained.
He's gained 25 points in the last 3 races.
I think he's gained over 50 points in the last 4 or 5 races. He's really done a good job as they towed the 46 truck in for James. But yeah, and you remember he was leading the race late. It wasn't a gateway.
Yeah, he was running 4th at Sonoma and got spun, and that cost him some points as well. So, he's made up 25 points in the last 3 races. It's certainly possible for him to make up 27 in the next 3.
There's the numbers. Had some good steam lately, though. That's what I love most about him as we're heading toward the end of the regular season. He's got a real shot of pointing his way in, maybe even winning a race, Vince.
Only a couple of minutes left in this practice before qualifying. Currently, the fastest is Stuart Friesen. He's with Regan.
Well, Vince, it's usually a very good sign when you're out of your truck and trucks are still on the racetrack running. Stuart, top of the board right now, the fastest truck here. How good is this 52?
It's pretty good. I mean, we made a couple laps there. Didn't really push it super hard, so that's pretty cool. Our Halmar TRD Pros is good. We spent a lot of time on the simulator the other day running this place and making some adjustments, and felt like it backed it up pretty good. So there's only a couple minutes left in practice. We felt like we just tried to get it cooled down as good as we can for qualifying now.
Big focus, Vince, on the qualifying coming up. Make sure he gets a good starting spot here.
I talked to several crew chiefs that made the comment, there's so much sim these days, and based off really the situation they were forced into because of COVID when you didn't have practice, you had to just roll off the truck, roll off the hauler ready to go. Some guys are afraid to practice and screw it up.
I mean, we talked about it, Vince, how 20 minutes is not a lot of practice, but it's a lot more than no practice, though, like we had there for a while.
You can screw up a lot in 20 minutes.
Sure can.
See if how the 17 truck looks down here in 3 and 4. Does he go all the way to the bottom, or does he run the middle?
Another fast lap this second time out on the racetrack. He mentioned earlier that his fastest lap was on lap 7. That was lap 9. He just completed only less than 1/10 of a second off. As a matter of fact, he just ran his fastest lap again on lap number 10, Michael.
And if I'm one of the crew chief or crew chief's teams, I'm watching that. As you see, this is him last year taking the lead late and driving away to get the checkered in his first truck race. That was a great night for Ryan Priest.
He led only 8 laps en route to winning that, and one of 5 drivers to win in their debut race in the Truck Series, the first in 13 years to do it, going back to Ryan Newman getting it done.
I read that was last week when Todd Gilliland won in this 17 truck. That was the 3rd win for David Gilliland Racing. Tyler Ankrum actually got their first win a couple 3 years ago.
Nice little momentum going for that 17 group as you see Carson Hocevar finishing up practice in that 42 truck for Nice Motorsports. Boy, what a month it's been for Hocevar, huh?
But, you know, again, he's just, Phil, he just becomes the fastest guy almost everywhere we go. It's been really amazing to see the speed that they found in this 42 truck, being the guy that you basically got to beat week in, week out.
Having speed and finishing it up the way you want, though, 2 different things, and that certainly hasn't been the case for Hocevar over the course of the last month. Stuart Friesen has a win to his credit this season. Snapped that 53 race drought at Texas. Can he do it again tonight? The inaugural USFL playoffs kicking off this weekend on Fox. The Philadelphia Stars face the New Jersey Generals for a berth in the title game in the Pro Football Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. It's the USFL playoffs tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern on Fox.
It's been a fun season, hasn't it?
Playoffs already, man.
And the playoffs for the Camping World Truck Series not far away. We've only got 3 remaining in the regular season, and as we have just gone through a 20-minute practice session at Nashville Superspeedway, this is the top 10. Stuart Friesen quickest. Not a single KBM truck on that list. A bit surprising. How about the Kyle Busch Motorsports Group? 18th, 19th, and 20th on the speed chart. And let's maybe get some insight to that with Regan Smith.
Well, Vince, John Hunter, Nemechek 18th in that practice session. Not where we're accustomed to you being on the board in terms of speed. What more do you need out of your Kyle Busch Motorsports truck here?
We got to work on it a little bit. I feel like the guys have brought a good truck. The racetrack was really fast when it fired off, and everybody went out there and ran really fast laps. And we actually sat right here waiting for the track to rubber up and change a little bit. You can go run a fast lap, or you can actually see what your balance is going to try and do for tonight once the racetrack rubbers in. So that's what we elected to do. All 3 KBM trucks, I think, are 18th, 19th, 20th, kind of all on the same game plan there strategy-wise. But still have to get a little bit better for tonight. This was one of my worst races last year, and still ended up with a top 10, but just fought really bad conditions all night. So completely different package for us this year. So hopefully we can take it to victory lane here in Music City.
Hey, I like that game plan. They pay for winning tonight, not winning practice. Good luck, John Hunter. Josh?
And another one of those KBM guys is Corey Heim over here, and you were 20th in that practice session. What were you missing? What more do you need before qualifying tonight?
Not a whole lot. I feel like overall our speed on the long runs is pretty good. It was really hard to lay a lap down. I feel like every time we went out, there was someone, either wrecking or bringing out a caution, one or the other. So, didn't really get to lay a lap down, but I feel like overall our long run speed is good, and our Tundra TRD Pro has been great throughout the year. So, looking forward to see what we got tonight.
And Corey Heim looking to go back-to-back for the Triple Cup Challenge races, guys.
Yeah, his last start was at Gateway, and he won that race, and that was the first race of the Triple Truck Challenge. It was his 2nd win. How about that? 2 wins and 7 starts this season.
Look at that block. Wow, that takes some nerve to be able to. I don't care if it's your teammate or not.
Exactly,
You scrub somebody down toward the wall, they're going to hit you back, and then big crash for Carson Hocevar, Tyler Hill.
It was Heim time indeed at Gateway, and it's 2 wins in 7 starts, as mentioned. He won the pole at Gateway as well, and this is his first time back in the truck, and he'll be in that 51 the rest of the way, so it's got to be a good feeling for him, knowing it's his ride the rest of the season. Lining up the trucks at Nashville Superspeedway, getting ready for qualifying for the Rackley 200 later tonight. right here on FS1. 3 remaining in the regular season. Of course, tonight here at Nashville, and then we'll turn left and right at one of the great road courses. Love Mid-Ohio. And then the Tricky Triangle, Pocono, going to be on Big Fox for that one on a Saturday afternoon at noon time. So mark that down on your calendar.
I don't know that we could have 3 racetracks any more different. I guess if we threw a little dirt on one of them, it would make it more different. But what a great lineup of races. Really, the whole truck season has such a great lineup of events, road courses, short tracks, super speedways, intermediate tracks, concrete tracks, dirt tracks. And there's a guy that's our most recent winner as an owner, David Gillen. And how special was that on Father's Day weekend for David, as you see him talking to one of his drivers, Haley Deegan, that his son went to Victory Lane?
That's got to feel so special for him. What a great team he's built there, too. Just such a strong organization. David's been a racer his whole life, as was his dad and his grandpa, right? Family line of racers.
Yeah. And some good momentum for that organization, winning at Knoxville and then coming here to Nashville, where they're the defending champion with Ryan Preece, who is with Josh Sims.
Yeah, you say most recent winners. Ryan Preece, the most recent winner here at Nashville. After going through that practice session, 4th fastest on the board. How are you feeling about qualifying and then being able to repeat tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we've just been working together, Chad, Seth, and all of us. And every race we work together, we keep getting better and honing in on what I like. So really excited about tonight. This is probably the best practice session right off the trailer. Speed, we've just really been honing in on it. So thanks to Hunt Brothers Pizza, and this is where they are. This is where they're from. So hopefully we can go get them another guitar and have some fun for these guys.
17 looking to go back-to-back, Regan.
Josh Cruikshank has been so very good at this type of racetrack this year. 10th right now in practice. What do you need in qualifying to qualify up front?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot of unknowns right now. The track's pretty tight, which is a little bit surprising for us at least. So, yeah, it's been a rough couple weeks. Different racetracks for me, and happy to be back in an oval for sure. Thanks, Christian.
Phil, I always am amazed at these drivers. How do you turn the page so quickly? We were just out there running race runs, practicing, and then they'll throw in a set of tires and say, all right, now go get me a fast 1-lap run. This is so fun for me to watch and see these drivers deal with such different circumstances.
In a span of 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Tate Fogelman, first to qualify, and again it is 1 green.
Whoa.
Big. Able to keep it off the wall, but wow.
That's really bad news, though, because this basically is a new team. It's the second team.
Needed to qualify on speed to get in the show.
Rackley Roofing team, and unfortunately, it's not going to happen for Tate.
It was hung out for a long ways. Watch, Vince. Center of the corner, right there. Hung out. He fought it, but then finally snapped on him. But nice job keeping it out of the wall. You talk about a new team. You got to build a team, and this is a mistake. Getting loose, but
Tate had enough speed in practice to get him in the show, but a tough break.
Heartbreaker for Fogelman. I guess the silver lining on it, didn't do any damage to the truck, but again, he was one of those drivers that needs to qualify on time to make the show. We've got 42 here, only 36 going to get in today.
That's as big a field of trucks as we've had since Daytona.
We've had a couple of them with issues. Jinjo Cobb in practice was losing some fluid, a lot of smoke out of that 10 truck. She brought it in. There you see the 90 of Justin Carroll. He's got to qualify on speed as well.
And you don't see Jen there, so obviously there's the truck that we talked about earlier. Jinjo Cobb has
she's in it, though, so maybe they've been able to make repairs. You see him airing the tires up, so when she didn't go in her spot, then she was on the 5-minute clock, although with Tate spinning out, I guess they would have to stop that clock while they're looking at the racetrack.
A lot of good trucks here, Vince. You mentioned it, 42 for 36, and that means a couple of good trucks aren't going to get a chance to race this evening, and that just shows you how competitive this truck series has become. Everybody sees it as a chance to prove to the world of NASCAR that they're the real deal, just like that young man has done this season, Carson Hocevar. Now there's talk about him running some cup races next year. So you make it here in the truck series, we see them first, The stars come in from short track, late model, ARCA, wherever they come from, and we can tell right away these guys, or we have a chance to see these guys before the before we know what kind of talent they have. And they proved themselves here in the Truck Series.
You talk about the depth of this series, and I think it's proven out in what we've seen in Victory Lane this year. 10 different winners. We've had 7 different organizations that have won this season. It's been a great year. It's been a great season. We're not done yet.
We've tied the record for the most different winners through 13 races of all time, right?
Well, it's a big one for Clay Greenfield this is a home race for him, Clarksville, Tennessee.
Backyard blues on that truck, and you know how hard is that, Phil, to go out after the first truck out spins? That has to make you a little bit nervous as Clay takes the green flag.
Clay's a part-time competitor, but boy, we have seen him really do some great things, especially Daytona Talladega. He really puts a lot of effort into those races, and really has had some great finishes there.
Good looking truck.
It is.
This was the problem area we saw just a bit ago. Wow.
Able to gather it up, but boy, that spot is dicey.
Same exact situation as Tate Fogel, and not much to fall back on point-wise for this 84 truck.
See a nice dive into the corner, and it just snapped with him, and he does a great job of catching it.
What is it all of a sudden, Mike? We didn't see any of that in practice, in that 20-minute practice session.
Yeah, how about the attention that's getting down on pit lane?
It's getting my attention, and I'm a long way from that corner.
How would you like to be next, Phil? Go ahead.
No.
Let it happen. I think
you think Justin Carroll will say, if somebody else would like to go first, I'll let him go.
It could be that Nashville hot sun, Vince, that's shining down on turns 3 and 4, just making these guys a little bit looser than it was in practice.
Well, how about Carroll? He is looking to make his Truck Series debut here tonight, Williamsburg, Virginia. Man,
I think he's backed her down.
Yes, way down.
Doesn't look like a lot of speed so far. You talk about the simulation. Look how nice that truck looks. The nose right down on the ground. Really good attitude, but not a lot of speed right now. But he made it. That's got to build a little confidence in the next.
Absolutely. 31.97.
Well, the 14 of Trey,
with 3 wide already.
Hutchins, Honeycutt, and Jinjo Cavell. That's going to be Hutchins. So while Trey Hutchins gets up to speed, we'll check in with Regan Smith.
Well, Vince, the best way to find out about these track conditions, somebody that's actually been out there during this practice. Carson, we've watched the practice, heard a lot of guys saying they were tight. You told me you were just a little bit on the free side. Were you as free as these guys we've been watching go early right now?
No, I wasn't. That makes me a little worried, but granted, it's kind of back markers, right? But this track freed up a lot last year, so I'm not sure where we're going to be at if we're a little bit free. But the truck drive, good. We're still missing just a touch of speed to be top of the board, but we're right there. I think we're 7th or 8th there. But I feel like we're fast every week. The last 2 weeks we've been really good, and I was telling you earlier, when this thing heals up, I'm going to keep it wrapped because I can't come back all the way. I can only keep it on the floor, and I mean, what's the term? Hurts so good. We're just gonna go with that.
Yeah, you do mention that foot there. How is that physically now in terms of how much better it's gotten since the injury first happened?
It's gotten a lot better. I think we're 60% there, but the last 40 is back to normal. It's gonna take a little longer. I've actually healed a lot quicker than the doctors have said, but I can't quite get it flat. It's still really tight. It still has a lot of blood in it. Still post-surgery or whatever. I don't know how it works at all, but all I know is I can push the gas pedal, and that's all I need. Even at Sonoma, I knew if whatever the case may be, I was going to figure out how to ratchet strap the thing to the steering wheel or to the gas pedal, and I can move my whole leg. So we're going to see what we got. And this place, I'm just glad it's a little bit back to normal. Granted, it's a lot of off-throttle time, but like you said, Sonoma and Knoxville, that's a lot of throttle control and a lot of, so back to normal.
Back to normal this weekend. Thanks, Carson. Josh?
Ian over here with Haley Deegan. What did you notice out there during practice, and also how nice is it to be able to bounce ideas off of Brian Preece out there?
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan's a great guy to gauge off of. He obviously did great here last year, and I feel like he has a lot of knowledge. And so being able to pick his brain about stuff, just trying to see what he felt, what maybe he was backing up a corner more than I was, and maybe I was overdriving a little bit, and that's why we could have been a little bit slower at certain points. So I think that we got a really good waistcoat forward. It's super hard to just get a clean lap in practice, but I'm feeling we'll have a good qualifying, got some tips from him, so I think we're going to have a good run.
Thanks and good luck.
Jinjo Cobb out on track for her qualifying effort at 33 flat.
Problems in practice for the 10 truck, so they got those squared away, and she was able to make a lap.
See Trey Hutchins at the top of the board, 31.15. That's a pretty decent lap. That 31.15 would have slotted about 25th in practice, so good job by Trey.
That sets the stage for Caden Honeycutt, the 18-year-old from Willow Park, Texas. He's made one start this season.
That's a little bit loose there.
A little bit of a wiggle down there.
And you know what I love, or what I used to hate about that, Phil?
I thought what you love about it or you hate.
Well, I got to go back there. I just about wrecked when I was there. Now you're going to make me go back down there. It's really, qualifying is so intense inside the truck.
You won here, didn't you, Mike?
I did. I made a daring, took the white flag running 6th, and I made a daring 5-car pass on the last lap to get the checker.
Now, were they all straight?
At one point they were, and then they weren't.
You didn't have to say all that. I mean, you could have just said, yes, I did win. It was a dominating effort on my view.
Okay, darn, Vince. Yes. Thanks for asking. I did.
You've got the guitar anyway, don't you?
I do.
Caden Honeycutt second quickest. And how about the guitar, the specially designed Gibson Les Paul guitar that is presented to the race winners here this weekend?
Has to be one of those special trophies in racing.
Gibson headquarters located here in Nashville.
It's a good looking truck again. We talked about how nice from front to back these trucks look. Golden Eagle on the side of the 32.
ARCA champion Fred Holmes from a couple years ago. Shane Huffman calling the shots for this team.
Had a great run in Las Vegas early in the season, a career best 8th. Looking to make his 5th start of the season.
You know, I usually like everything about racing, Phil. That's why I said I love what I love. Well, what I meant was what I hate. What I hate was being loose in 3 and 4, coming to the green and having to go back there.
Yeah, if you're loose coming to the green,
it usually doesn't get better. See Brett's tracking within a couple tenths of what Trey Hutchins ran.
That's going to put him behind Honeycutt too, though, I think.
Yeah, should slide in third at a 31.35.
Fastest in practice was a 30.689. That was Stuart Friesen.
Michael thinks we're going to be a lot faster than that in qualifying. Our pole last year was a 29.80 something, so Michael thinks we're going to get down there again. I'm thinking it's going to be above 30 flat.
Well, we'll see. Todd had a great practice run.
He
was inside the top 20, so see what this Camping World truck can get done.
Todd's a former winner here at this racetrack.
One of only 2 that will be in the field tonight. Of course, Ryan Priest being the other. Todd, if you're just tuning into the Camping World Truck Series, making 6 starts this season to get to 800 career starts, and this is number 799. He'll also race at Pocono, and he had a big wiggle there in that spot too.
Had a bobble there, and look at the tracker. He was well into the green. Now almost 4/10 of a second off. Lost all his momentum, and he had to carry that momentum all the way down the back straightaway. Let's see if he can get some of that back through 3 and 4 here.
He is.
He is
on it. Will it be enough to get inside the top couple?
Slotting in the 3rd position.
31 is the key number for those trucks that don't have a lot of points to fall back on. If you make the top 31 on speed, you're in no matter what. So that's a number a lot of these teams are looking at.
Now that means you have to beat 11 trucks, and so far you see there Todd's got 5 beaten.
There's Nick Lights, 25-year-old, Hampton Roads, Virginia. A late model experience, looking to make his Truck Series debut as well.
I'm just
super excited about this.
I like the way Nick left pit road. I mean, I know it's a small part of it, but it is part of a qualifying lap. You got to get the truck wound up and going because you're gaining momentum all the way to turn 3, and then you make a nice 3 and 4 and try to come to the green with that same momentum. Look like a nice exit of pit road, but then not so good down in 3 and 4. Lost some time there in the center. It's a tricky track right now, isn't it?
It really is. For some reason, it wasn't that long ago that we were practicing. It seems like the track changed a little bit. Lost maybe a little bit more grip as the temperature goes up. Here you see him tracking about 4/10 now off of what Trey Hutchins ran.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see any of this diciness during practice, but it has slicked up, it seems, and just about every driver that has been out has had his hands full at one point or another. 8 have taken a time, and plenty yet to come, including Stephen Parsons. Yeah, it's like a Parsons family reunion in here.
In NASCAR, the journey begins with one simple start. Turn, bump, win, and celebration. I am the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. I am NASCAR.
Back at Nashville Superspeedway, Camping World Truck Series qualifying, setting the lineup for tonight's race. Race number 14 of the season. Stephen Parsons on track. What kind of advice did you give your son today, Phil?
Just get that thing in the show for Tyler Young.
And that was a nice 3 and 4 coming to the green. The truck didn't bobble. Stephen did a nice job. Felt like he's maybe a little conservative down in 1 and 2, but like you said, Phil, it's just about making the race. Now we can just get through 3 and 4. He'll have a real shot, solid lap here, and it looks like a great truck right there.
Hands look good. You see him tracking about 1/10.5 faster than Trey Hutchins. That should do it. That should get him in the show.
Well, there's a lot of stability in that truck, which is something that we have not seen with the other 8 that have taken times, or not to mention Janes and Fogelman, who did not complete their qualifying lap.
You know what I love, Vince? Stability.
Yeah, behind the wheel, you'll take all that you can get, won't you?
I felt like I was just...
We know what you hate.
Yeah, I hate going back to turn 3 after I already about wrecked there. And what I love is when you see Stephen in there and his hands are fairly steady. It means the truck is doing what he's asking it to, and that was a nice effort.
And ran a little bit quicker than he practiced, too. So I think Tyler Young's guys really did a good job.
And you breathed a sigh of relief as well.
A total sigh of relief, yes.
Yep. Here's Parker Kligerman. Always manages to put that 75 truck up near the front at some point during the night. Look forward to that being the case again tonight.
Last 3 times that he's raced, he's finished 4th, 6th, and 7th.
And you know, he qualified decent at St. Louis, but he generally doesn't qualify very good. And you can always count on him charging through the field and to the front. Does a great job behind the wheel of this number 75.
That's a good corner down to 1 and 2. You see him tracking a couple tenths faster than Stephen. Let's see if he can ease this thing through 3 and 4. Looks like he's holding a pretty, a little bit of a bobble there. It didn't slow him down a lot. He's still going to have a great lap here. Going to run a couple tenths quicker than Stephen.
Kligerman, one of those drivers that ran here years ago. The Truck Series started racing here in 2001, but went dark 2012 through 21, and then came back last year. Of course, Ryan Preece winning last year, but Kligerman ran here back in 2011.
The Kligerman is locked in. Now we've had 12 trucks attempt to qualify. Kligerman has beaten 11 trucks, so he is locked in. Stephen would be the next one to lock in if he could run faster than any of these subsequent trucks.
Here's Chris Hacker, the 22-year-old from Noblesville, Indiana, carrying that onboard cam for us tonight.
Morgan and Morgan on there. A picture of Chris on our screen, and the guy on one of the Morgans on the side of the truck looked quite different with the hair situation, didn't it?
Quite a bit different, yes. Hard back to the throttle. You see him tracking now about a half a second off. We can get through this end down here. Chris is one of those trucks. He's 29th in owner points, so there would be a chance that he could fall back on his points.
This run will lock Stephen Parsons into the field, I believe.
9th overall for The hair's a lot different.
Is that is one Morgan on the side and the other one on the back?
And the hair's different, yes.
And there's Chris's hair.
Yeah.
9th quickest for Chris Hacker.
I know Chris would rather us be talking about the speed that he had than everybody's hair, but at least it's a good-looking truck. It's not very fast, though, in qualifying here.
Downstairs to Josh.
Down here with Derek Kraus, who's continually chipping away at a playoff spot. What's it going to take for you to close the gap even more than you have between you and Crafton here tonight?
Just execution. We just need to execute tonight and have a good night overall. It starts here with qualifying. We got to have a good qualifying run and just keep our Hunter Nation Chevy Silverado up front all night.
And Derek Kraus won the pole here last year. Looking to go back-to-back, Regan.
Josh, it's a home game for Matt DiBenedetto. Not so much you, but this race team, Rackley Ware Racing. Of course, Rackley Roofing sponsor in the race tonight. So ownership putting any extra pressure on you here this afternoon?
No, not at all. Totally normal day. It's a big one for us. We got Black Tie Moving, which is what we were talking about a little bit ago. Gary Laveau from Rascal Flats. My wife's going to be pretty jealous that he's hanging out with us and on the truck. And it's the Rackley Roofing 200. As everybody sees, they're kind of a big part of this team. So it's this will be a big one. I'm excited. I'm excited for the team. Curtis Sutton, one of the race team owner, has been pumped, as you saw up in our hauler earlier today. Man, this is a big one, and so we've got a good truck. Feel good about it. So we just need to big time park this thing in Victory Lane.
Guys, you mentioned Gary Laveau here, lead singer from Rascal Flats, of course, not just here as part of the team. He is actually the honorary crew chief tonight, so Chad Kendrick better look out later on.
Well, we'll see if he makes any calls late in the race tonight. But, hey, make a call out to Max Gutierrez with that terrific run while Regan was talking with DiBenedetto. Gutierrez, the 19-year-old from Mexico City, shooting to the top of the board with a 30.44.
We talk about doing double duty. Ryan Priest is going to run tomorrow as well. So Max is doing double duty too, but it's going to be in Mexico this weekend.
That's the fastest lap since we've been in Tennessee this trip, Phil. That 44 is a couple tenths better than Friesen was in practice. So what a great lap for Max.
It was. This is another driver, Michael and Vince, that's going to be doing double duty this weekend. Camden Murphy, he will be over where the Titans play football, running his monster truck tomorrow, Nissan Stadium.
The Illinois native looking to make his first start in the Truck Series this season, and currently slots into the 5th position.
Solid lap for Camden.
Some Rowdy Energy sponsorship, Kyle Busch's company, and documentary on Kyle this week in Nashville.
Yeah, it premiered last night, didn't it? Saw some social media comments about it. Good documentary.
Spencer Boyd next up.
Another one of Tyler Young's trucks. Rim time on board the truck for Spencer. Got that big win at Talladega 3 years ago. I'll never forget the look on Tyler Young's face. The smile on his face when Spencer Boyd took that truck to Victory Lane.
See if he can put another smile on his face with his qualifying lap. Tracking a couple of 3/10 off of our fastest truck, Gutierrez.
That was a great lap.
I love that, man. And you know, we were interviewing Benedetto during that lap, and I'm like, man, that thing looks like it's handling perfect. And then you saw the speed. That's pretty cool. Spencer to slot inside the top 5.
Yeah, good job by Spencer. 4th quickest out of the 16 trucks so far, and that will lock him in the field.
Again, 42 looking to take time today for 36 spots.
This is a special truck. Getting ready to see here Jesse Little getting to drive a truck that looks like his dad's cup car. Chad Little.
His uniform looked a lot like Chad's as well. I saw pictures of it.
Yeah, I talked to Chad this week about this opportunity and this special moment for him to see his son out there in his colors, and he's really excited about this paint scheme and the fact that Jesse's getting to celebrate this paint scheme for his dad.
Chad Little's a longtime competitor that we raced against a lot back in the Xfinity Series, Cup Series, now a NASCAR official. And a good lap by Jesse, too. Jesse was pretty solid in practice, was 17th quickest in practice.
Sponsored by Catchin' Deers, which is a company owned by Mike Fisher, the former NHL star, Nashville Predators. And also, wife does some singing, too.
A little bit,
What's her name?
Yeah.
Carrie something. Underwood,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, great lap by Jesse Little, though. Second quickest.
You know, and my brother and I have a golf tournament in Nashville, Tennessee coming up later this year, and the sponsors on this truck are helping to raise money for MRO and our golf tournament. So
awesome.
I'm pulling for this truck for many different reasons. Chad and Jesse.
And we like Jesse a lot, too.
We love Jesse and Chad.
Here's Blaine Perkins, 21st at Sonoma a couple of weeks ago. His best finish of the season. In fact, that was a career best for him, and I know that was special for him to get that solid run. He's from Bakersfield, California, and was back there in his home state.
Like a pretty good come to the green lap there down in turn 22. Yeah, you can see.
Yeah,
really,
I was thinking the same thing, Michael.
Bobbles there, though. That's going to cost him all the way down the back. Anytime you're off in the center of the corner, watch that clock go the wrong way on you.
We saw that with Tom Bodine. He got loose down there in 1 and 2, and that tracker just kept moving the entire time he went down the backstretch.
Well, we have not seen many trucks that look like they're on a rail, that's for sure. Maybe just a couple. Everybody else is either at a wiggle in 1 and 2 or a big one in turn 4. Perkins slots into the 3rd spot. There's Ben Rhodes, the defending series champ, yet to come. Watching Dean Thompson finish up his qualifying effort, and slots into the 6th spot after his teammate Chris Wright posted a 30.73, 3rd quickest.
These drivers are doing a lot better job negotiating 3 and 4 than the earlier trucks. You think, was it just slick over there maybe with this track sitting for 10 or 15 minutes after that practice session, Michael?
It had to be. The sun, we talked about how hot it is today, just burning down on that freshly laid rubber. It just must have made the turn a little bit slipperier than it was earlier, and now we've run some trucks through there, and it's back to normal because it's looking normal, looking like these guys are having an easier time of it.
Here's Jack Wood, the 21-year-old from Loomis, California. Ran a part-time schedule a year ago, but full-time this season. In fact, it started 2nd here a year ago. Finished 11th, had a good run.
Good lap going here, too.
See how he gets through 3 and 4. Hopefully we didn't jinx him.
Good entrance. Look at that. Into the green. And going to carry it up off the corner, too. Great lap by Jack Wood.
Out of the GMS stable, battling for Rookie of the Year. And fastest at a 30.28.
He did that all in turn 3 and 4, didn't he? Just sort of held serve in 1 and 2 and then really brought it down in 3 and 4.
So another good qualifying effort for Jack Wood. This track obviously suits him. And out of the GMS stable, maybe encouraging for Grant Enfinger, who will qualify a little bit later. Well, here's Corey Heim. Interesting, the KBM trucks were 18th, 19th, and 20th in practice, but when we heard from John Hunter Nemechek and Heim after practice, they seemed optimistic about what they might be able to have in qualifying, so we'll see what kind of numbers they put up.
They talked like they mostly worked on race trim. I had a feeling that these trucks were going to be plenty fine, plenty fast enough, and you can see him already tracking 2/10 quicker than what Jack Wood did. He had his hands full down in 3 and 4, though, Michael, getting up to speed. We could see his gloves on that steering wheel. Let's see how he does it here as he's up to speed.
This was an uncharacteristically difficult track for KBM last season, with John Hunter Nemechek being the fastest or the best finisher, 10th place last year. And see if they have a better run at it tonight. Certainly a solid effort for Corey Heim to break that 30 flat mark. And we go downstairs to Josh.
We were Ben Rhodes. Last week before Knoxville, you told me you had a nightmare that you lost the points lead, and then it went out and happened. So what kind of dreams did you have last night?
Good dreams. Yeah. If I knew that whatever I saw was going to come to fruition, I'm going to focus on having good dreams before every race. But no, I mean, looking at Knoxville last week, we had a giant mud ball about 25 pounds go through the front grill.
I can't control that. So it just happened. But I'm hoping for a lot better race here at Nashville Super Speedway. I wasn't thrilled with the handling of our Tenda Toyota Tundra in practice, but we made some changes, and then overall, as the laps wound down, we ended up having a really good average pace, which I think, is good for the race. I'm just a little anxious to see how qualifying lines us out.
I appreciate your time. Good luck, Ben.
Yeah, I thought Ben Rhodes did well to pull off a 10th place finish last week at Knoxville. Spent half the race or more a lap down, and was able to
well outside the top 20. Ben with 25 laps to go, and finished with the top 10.
Wallace Allen concluding his qualifying lap into the 14th position. So Corey Heim, the only one under 30 flat. We'll see if others will join him. Remember Derek Kraus, pole winning speed last year at a 29.83. It's about 160 mile per hour.
See that big wide arc off turn 2 there for Carson Osavar, just trying to get that truck wound up. We talked about leaving pit road and how much speed you can get. Carson thought that was the smartest way to leave pit road, and we'll see when he comes to the green flag if that pays off and he's in the green.
23 trucks have made an attempt to qualify. That means the top 12 are locked in. So from everybody from the 30 of Camden Murphy up are already locked in the field.
Phil, you did not think they would run underneath 30 seconds.
I did not.
Darn, they have.
I would have almost been willing to bet that they were not going to run under 30 seconds.
And you can see this another truck tracking to do so as well. Wow.
This is going to be down maybe in the 80s or maybe a high 70. Probably 80s.
Carson Hocevar fastest 29.88 and 8.83. Fast enough to top the chart so far. Back downstairs to Regan.
Well, Vince, Jack Wood just got bumped back to the 3rd position. Jack, you qualified in 2nd here a year ago, 3rd right now as we stand here. Seems like a good track for you to get a little forward momentum for the rest of the year.
Yeah, like you said, we were strong here last year, and coming in definitely had high hopes for this race. I think, we definitely have some speed. I wish I fired off a little better there in qualifying, but, I think the way the race is going to play out and the way the truck has been so far today, I think we'll put ourselves in a good position. But just happy to kind of have a good weekend going off so far, and hopefully we can finish off strong like we did last year.
And keep that good weekend going. Thanks, Jack.
Yeah, I like the way Jack Wood has approached this season of just trying to get better every race. He's just a rookie in his first full-time year and trying not to bite off more than he can chew.
This stuff is hard.
Yep.
I mean, it's amazing the competitiveness of the field in these Truck Series races.
Timmy Hill in the 56 on track. 11th.
That will lock Timmy in the field.
That's what he was looking for. Now go to work on the race setup. We heard John Hunter, you mentioned it, Vince, talk about their strategy and how they were approaching that practice session, waiting till the trucks had run some laps in on the concrete surface to get some rubber laid down. And the KBM trucks back in 18th, 19th, and 20th in practice, and you can see Heim now 2nd fastest so far. So we'll have to watch and see how that plays out for those trucks tonight. Will it be an advantage tonight, Phil?
Who knows? Who knows? And I'll tell you, we're going to see what kind of number we can look for qualifying, because this truck was so good, and really so good throughout the entire practice session. Ran really fast. I think his fastest lap was on lap 10 or 11. So we know this truck's going to be fast. You see him already in the green. Back to the throttle.
Last year's race winner has only finished outside the top 10 once in 5 starts this season, and that was 11th at Gateway, 11th at Charlotte, when he wrecked with Carson Hocevar battling for the lead.
Saw the lap though.
To the top of the chart goes Ryan Preece at a 29.75.
Flirting with a new track record, aren't we? Nobody said anything.
The track record, Mike, I was just looking to pull that up.
We were all looking it up.
Record.
29.6.
29.60. I don't know.
Well, it's only a 10th and a half off that. I think we should have a shot at it. I didn't think they were going to run below 30 flat. Now I'm going to go all the way to think they haven't shot at a track record.
It's a big jump, Phil.
It is.
Well, I mean, Phil's fluid with his commentary and his observations. Don't try to pin him in a corner.
Here's Haley Deegan, 15th last week at Knoxville, matched her season best finish.
She came to the green with some good speed. See if she can maintain it, losing a little bit off turn 2.
21st here last year, but the team trucks for the defending champion, along with Ryan Preece out of the DGR camp.
Preece giving her some tips after practice. See if she can put those to work.
Good lap. 5th quickest for Haley.
Well done. Mike Hillman Jr. has that one tuned up. Ty Majeski, one of the big names yet to come, including Zane Smith, 3-time winner this season. Stay with us. Back here at Nashville Superspeedway, setting the lineup for tonight's Rackley Roofing 200 and qualifying for the Camping World Truck Series. Looking at Colby Howard, who had the skates on in 1 and 2 and ends up 22nd.
He was fast in practice, Vince. He was 6th quickest in practice and really felt like he was going to get a good lap in, but unfortunately that is not going to be a good lap, but that will lock in, I think, the 47 of Honeycutt into the field.
Chase Purdy also qualified during commercial and was impressive with an 8th fastest time as you watch Tanner Gray. Let's go downstairs.
Down here with Zane Smith as he's getting set for qualifying, watching the laps go now. But what did you learn when you were out there on the practice session?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different Nashville than I remember, but we made positive gains on our Speedco Ford F-150. Huge shout out to my team. We're finishing up on this 8-week stretch, and that's hard on these truck teams. So looking forward to tonight. I love concrete racetracks. Had a lot of fun last year, so should be a good night.
Ecstatic to be away from the dirt from last week?
Yes. Yeah, a little bit.
That says it all right there, Regan.
Well, Josh, I think a lot of guys are excited to be away from that dirt. Max Gutierrez getting ready to make his 2nd start, though, of his Truck Series career. A great lap so far, 6th. How good was that truck?
Well, it felt really, really good. In practice, we were making just little adjustments to have a better time in qualify. And, I mean, it was really, really a cool qualify, actually.
A great lap for Max, guys. He was all smiles when he walked out of the hauler. Things are looking good down here for him.
Yeah, I love that. The smile says it all. Thank you, Regan.
He's still smiling.
Yep.
I like that.
As well he should be. On board with Matt DiBenedetto.
How cool is this view? That is awesome.
I love that.
Watch his hands. That tells a story. Yeah, pretty steady through 1 and 2.
Yeah, good corner. Or turn in way before you get out of the throttle.
And he's able to get right back to the gas.
Going to be a good lap. Going to be somewhere up in the top 5.
4th quickest. 30-14.
So it's such an important race here for Matt and Rackley Roofing.
29.75, Ryan Preece fastest so far as Tyler Ankrum rolls out onto the track. Michael was mentioning the track record a little bit earlier, and we noted that it was 29.60 and Eric Darnell. So keep an eye on that.
I just got a text from Eric Darnell. He said,
reminding us that it was.
No, he asked me, he said, do I have the track record? It seems like I do. He said, but I can't find that info anywhere. So, Eric, yes, you do have the track record.
And there's Tyler Ankrum, 7th. Solid effort, 30-44. Ankrum, one of those drivers that needs to win to make the playoffs and running out of time with only 3 races remaining. Christian Eckes, next up, 7th in the playoff standings. He's been runner-up a couple of times this season.
Good-looking CMR roofing truck, isn't it?
It is.
Eckes has been so fast lately, man. I just feel like this is a win waiting to happen. Be fun to win in Nashville. I know all the folks from CMR in town enjoying this great NASCAR weekend, man.
Oh, man.
It's a lot of fun going to the Music City and racing trucks and cars, and then maybe slipping down on Broadway if you're done racing.
If you're so inclined.
If that's what you like to do. There's plenty to see and plenty to do. Maybe we'll even run into Big Brother Daryl. He likes to go to Old Charlie's.
6th quickest for Eckes sets the stage for Chandler Smith. Won stage 2 here last year and led the most laps, but got shuffled back, and you get back in that dirty air. He could not make his way back up to the front of the field, ended up 13th. This has been a really good truck. Danny Stockman has given Chandler Smith throughout the course of this season.
I like when they come off that turn 4, Vince, and just shoot a straight line to that bottom, bounce off the track, down on the apron to try to make the shortest line they can to the start-finish line to gain some time. It's aggressive.
Here's Matt Crafton, was fast in practice. In fact, 2nd quickest in our practice session.
We had to chase it up the hill a little bit, Michael, maybe a little bit early through the center of the corner.
I liked his aggressive turn down into the corner, but then I don't think it stuck for him, Phil.
This is the 15th NASCAR Truck Series race here at Nashville Superspeedway. Crafton has run in all 14 previous.
He's going to run in the 15th one, too.
He is indeed. Best finish here is 5th, and he'd take that, I think. Looking at tonight's race.
Been a bit of a challenge this season, but he's still fighting for that playoff berth.
Here's Grant Enfinger. Had a good run at it last year here at Nashville. Was running for ThorSport back then. Finished 3rd. Now he's in the GMS camp.
Only about a 10th off our fastest truck so far, Ryan Preece. Can he get it through 3 and 4? Losing a little bit of time, but still going to be solidly up in the top 5.
Always seems to find his way toward the front come race time. He's 9th in the playoff standings currently, feeling pretty good about himself at a plus 58. Stranger things have happened, but I like Enfinger's chances to be one of our 10 playoff drivers. 5th on the speed chart after that qualifying lap. And here is Derek Kraus, who won the pole here a year ago.
I like the line. Oh, just slipped up a little bit, maybe off the corner, but still another good solid run. You can win from where he's starting.
4th quickest. Solid effort from Derek Kraus.
I think that's what we're seeing a lot of. It seems like the trucks can turn to the bottom really steady and good on entry, and then they just seem to wash up off a little bit of up off the corner. I don't know if that's by design or if they just can't get it aimed the way they want it to. Pretty good exit there for Rhodes.
Rhodes seems like maybe they've been off a bit. Just been putting some top 10s together, but no top 5s the last 7 races, and that's after he got off to that great start where he had 4 top 5s in the first 5 races, including that win on the dirt at Bristol.
Been a bit of a head scratcher, hasn't it, to see the team's performance? Like I mentioned earlier, crew chief Rich Lucius just making some great calls, taking advantage of those stage points in order to be able to keep a solid position in the points after that big win in Bristol you talked about.
11th for Rhodes, and here's Stuart Friesen, who was fastest in practice.
There he goes, sort of high off 2, but he tucks it in off. That's pretty good exit. A couple of 10s off our fastest truck. Friesen off of turn 2.
He's been one of the hottest drivers of late. Last 5 races, 3 top 5s, including that win at Texas that snapped the 53 race winless streak. And a solid qualifying effort from Friesen into the 8th spot. A few more to go. Ty Majeski, Zane Smith, and John Hunter Nemechek. And here is Majeski in the 66.
3 good ones.
That's certainly right, Phil. This guy has been so fast lately, and he's sideways.
Ooh. Well, he did a great first half of the corner, didn't he? Still going to salvage a decent lap, but what could have been.
He's a racer, that's for sure. Second earlier this season. Third and fourth the last 2 races. Doesn't matter what kind of surface you put him on. He finds a way.
This is what half of a good corner looks like.
Yeah.
The first half was
spot on.
Perfect, and that probably gets you to get on that gas a little bit sooner, as hard as you can.
So, man, that thing turns so good.
Let's just get with it.
Here's our playoff standings leader, Zane Smith, runner-up in the championship each of the last 2 years. Is the third time the charm for Zane. He has certainly been.
He's got a shot at this pole. He's in the green, just lost a little bit through the center. Not sure he can get it back from there, though.
Certainly been the front runner in the championship talk. Gotta like his odds. Chris Lawson, the crew chief on that 38, does a tremendous job. Most laps led this season for that group. 3 wins. They're probably going to have to beat this guy, John Hunter Nemechek. He is our driver that leads the regular season points, despite the fact that he has 3 DNFs this season. And that's, I think, amazing in itself that he's still managing to lead the regular season point standings. But it is tight.
Just haven't had the speed today that we expect anytime you see John Hunter strap into his KBM Toyota.
Down in 11th with John Hunter.
And that leaves Ryan Preece as our pole winner, his first career pole. This place is pretty special. Got his first Truck Series win here a year ago. Today, he adds his first career pole, all in Nashville. Beautiful afternoon in Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville Superspeedway. Camping World Truck Series qualifying is complete, and Ryan Preece is the winner of the pole, and he is with Josh.
First career pole in the Truck Series for Ryan Preece. How's it set you up for tonight?
We have a really sporty Hunt Brothers Ford F-150. I'm really proud of these guys and all the work that they put in, and them coming off a win last week at Knoxville sets us up for a good one tonight. So we'll see if we can keep it up front.
Thanks and good luck tonight, Ryan. Guys.
He won from the 6th starting spot last year and establishes himself as the favorite to go back-to-back with the pole-winning run in qualifying. You see the rest of the starters in the qualifying results on the bottom of your screen.
My takeaway is the speed that truck had on the long run. I mean, we saw in the practice for his race runs how good he was, and then certainly the pole proves that it's a short run truck as well. So this field's got their hands full with this guy.
Yeah, and obviously great job he did last year in getting the win. But I think, us counting out KBM might have been a little premature. I think those guys are going to have some speed. They talk about such a different setup than they had last year. They're pretty optimistic.
4th, 6th, and 11th for KBM. You see later tonight, race day coming up at 7:30 Eastern right here on FS1, and then the Rackley Roofing 200, race number 14 of the season, coming your way tonight at 8 o'clock, where Ryan Preece will lead the field to the green. Try to defend as the back-to-back race winner. Can he do it again for the 2nd year in a row at Nashville? For Josh Sims and Regan Smith, Michael Waltrip, Phil Parsons, I'm Vince Welch. We'll be back with you later tonight. 7:30 race day, 8 o'clock, going racing from Nashville.